The national champion is clad in big orange.
The pitch. Swing and the miss. That's the ball game. The national champion is clad in big orange.
At Summit and Destiny have met 7 times before. Tonight is number 8.
Tennessee Volunteers have wrapped up an SEC outright regular season title. Connect with
the SEC runs through Rocky Top. Tennessee wins the SEC regular season crown for the 2nd consecutive season.
the 1-0. In the air, left center field. Cross on the move. Walk it there. Tennessee walks it off. It's a mismatch. Deep three. Come on now. And don't connect. Probably Rakin this time. Indeed. New hand jam. Down the middle. Got it. The fly is high and again. And he's going to take it. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Hey, how much fun is this?
Man, Rocky Top, this is college football at its absolute best.
This is college athletics at its absolute best. Welcome into another episode of the Fanatics Show. I am your co-host, Skylar, and my other co-host, Michael. How are we doing, big dog?
Man, we're doing just fine on this Thursday evening. Get to talk about a Vols victory from last week. Kind of expected because of the opponent. We're not going to talk about basketball, but we both off the podcast talked a little bit about it. Looking pretty good, both of them so far. Nice men and women both playing. Going to talk a little bit about some Boo Carter situation as well. But I don't know who that is anymore. But anyway. It's a fantastic Thursday night to talk about some Tennessee football, talk about the upcoming matchup, man. Family's doing well. How about you, man?
Man, that's great to hear. Yeah, same, man. We a little personal real quick. The wife got her dream job, right? She's a nurse now. She graduated back in May. And so now she gets to do what she wants to do, and that's work with kids at the East Tennessee Children's Hospital. She's a nurse, and she got awarded with night shift. So having to adjust to that has been challenging, but I'm not going to argue with the pay right now. I told her, I said, look, we're not starting a family right now. Like, this is the perfect time to do it. Let's grind it out. But I'll tell you what, it is a grind, and I appreciate her so much for that. But before we get too far into the show, I want to let you guys know who our presenting show sponsor is, and that is Chris Smith Insurance. As a homeowner, Chris Smith was once let down by an insurance company. So he started his own agency where instead of feeling like a big company is always fighting against you, you'll know that your agent is fighting for you. All insurance is not equal. Trust the Chris Smith Insurance today right here in Oak Ridge, Tennessee at 865-272-3387. Again, guys, Chris is not just going to find you the cheapest rate, man. A lot of insurance carriers or agents will do that. Okay, what Chris is going to do is find you the best coverage for the best rate. And that way, if those oopsies were to happen and you feel like you have to file that claim, you at least have the peace of mind knowing that you're going to be properly covered. Chris, we appreciate your continued support. Michael, we got an exciting show. We got a guest. Give me the rundown. Like, what are we doing today? I mean, obviously you mentioned Boo Carter. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but what are we doing tonight?
Yeah, so tonight we're going to get it all started. We got our good friend Daniel from the Gator Truth Podcast going on with us tonight. We're going to talk. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming matchup this weekend. Give our thoughts on it. Get Daniel's thoughts on it as well. Then we're going to briefly talk about Boo Carter. Not really going to give a recap on last week's game, other than maybe just some thoughts on the game itself. Just some brief thoughts there. Not a whole lot to talk about. Then we're going to get into our picks, and then we're bringing Jake back on. To my knowledge, Jake is back this week.
Back from the dead. Like, let's no negative talk this week. It's all positive. Okay. I understand our bank accounts are negative, but all positive. Okay. We're going to have a good week this week.
Yeah, we absolutely are. But let's get right into this. Let's bring Daniel on. But before we do that, I want to give you our segment one sponsor, and that is Optimal Asbestos Services. Optimal Asbestos Services offers detailed asbestos inspections and air quality assessments. Whether you're looking to secure your home or workplace, you can trust Optimal Asbestos Services to deliver thorough and reliable solutions. Contact Jeff Mull at 865-223-3297 for your consultation today, or go on the web at optimalasbestosservices.com. So let's hop right on over here. Let's get Daniel on the show. And Daniel, appreciate you coming on and joining us tonight, my man.
Oh man, I'm glad you guys had me on. I mean, I've appeared a few times this year via message, but this time you brought me with a live mic. What could go wrong, right?
Yeah, and I need to change this this graphic right here because we're not doing Rakin with Jake right now. We are doing Tennessee Florida preview, man.
There we go. Yeah, Daniel, it's good to have you on here, man. Obviously, Florida not having the season they had hoped, but overall, that has nothing to do with this coming weekend and the matchup that we see here. But tell us a little bit about the Gators. Maybe some Tennessee fans don't know, other than the fact that we're happy that y'all have lost a lot. But like I said, going into this game, I can tell you BVS is real, and we're not really cheering about how bad Florida's record is this year. We're worried about how well you are about to do and perform at home when Tennessee comes into town.
Oh man, yeah. It's definitely one of those games where I know it's cliche, but the records don't matter. But this is a Florida team that has not been at home in over a month. So you've got a lot of Gator fans who it's been a very interesting season as far as how the schedule's broken down. First 2 weeks of the season, we're at home, and then we're away for about a month until we host Texas. And then we were gone for a week, hosted Mississippi State, and then we're gone for a month. And now we've got you guys and Florida State back to back, 2 big rivalry games. So there are a lot of fans who probably have bought tickets, months ago, thinking this would be a good season for the Gators. They're going to come and pack the swamp and make it loud. It's a sold out crowd, which is for a 3-7 team is really good. And of course, as you guys know, the swamp being crazy, but perhaps one of the biggest pieces of news out of the Florida Gators as far as this game's concerned is Caleb Banks, our all SEC defensive tackle, who has only played 1 game this season at LSU, got injured in that game after missing the first few games with injury. We thought he was done for the year. He's back. He wanted to come back and wanted to play these final 2 games. And so for the Gators defense that really has struggled in the middle of the defense, this is a massive, massive get for us. So if there's something your fans wanted to know that they may not know about the Gators, I would definitely point to this is a home crowd that hasn't seen the team play in forever and is hungry to see it. And then B, you're returning one of your best players in the preseason in time for this matchup. But before we go forward, I mean, I've told you guys in the past talking that for me, the Tennessee game early in the year, hearing Rocky Top in some ways makes me think college football is here, because that used to be the first real game for Florida. And now it feels so weird at the end. But I do want to, I have one other tradition that I've not done this year because sad news out of Vol Nation, but I do want to give a shout out to Big Vol Daddy's family. That guy was awesome. I used to watch his Tennessee, Florida reviews every year, like watch them back. I just can't do it this year, unfortunately, although I may. And one thing I do want to say about that is that if he had to go out, at least he went out with Tennessee on a winning streak over Florida. So I did want to say that to ingratiate myself to your fans that it is true. It is something I would do. And as you talked about BVS, there was no greater BVS than 2014 Florida, Tennessee, his review where he goes, "Here comes the freshman in to lead the Gators to a victory." And of course, the Gators come back, win behind Treon Harris in Neyland Stadium, and then Will Muschamp with one of the in my opinion, one of the all-time great Florida Tennessee moments where he says, "Feels really great making all these people disappointed," or something to that effect. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun one for sure this weekend.
Michael, I don't think he really helped on the VBS syndrome.
No, absolutely not. I'm just glad that he didn't bring up the next year's game, because that one hurt, along with the 2017 one. That one really stung.
I'll just say, Tennessee's had their chances on the road against Florida in this terrible streak that we got going on here.
And that's why Tennessee fans against Florida have such bad BVS, because it's like when you look back over the last it's 22 years now, because that's the last time that Tennessee has won in the Swamp, was in 2003. You look back at some of the scores and the games there. You had the 2005 game in which Florida won 16-7. And granted, I don't remember that game. I was too young at that point, but something tells me that there was a lot of chances Tennessee had to win that game. I mean, you did have some blowouts. You had the 2007 year where Tim Tebow and company just absolutely blew Tennessee out of the water. Yep. Yeah, Cam Newton came in at the end of that game. You had the game in Lane Kiffin's 1 year at Tennessee, 23-13. Had chances to win that game as well. You go to 2011. Derek Dooley actually had a chance to beat Florida in the Swamp, 33-23 the final. Another pretty big victory in 2013. Then you got the 2015 matchup. That was the one where it's the Butch Jones failing to go for 2 in the second half that ultimately would have tied the game and sent it to overtime after Florida came back. Then you've got the Hail Mary in 2017.
That one hurt.
That one really hurt.
That one hurt.
Derek Dooley never came, or not. Jeremy Pruitt never came close to winning in 2019. You had the 2021 Heupel's first year, where if not for the dropped pass on fourth down coming right out of the half, it might have been a completely different ball game. But Florida ended up running away with it in the second half. And then 23, Joe Milton's year, Tennessee was
the worst quarter of football I think I've ever seen.
Tennessee was the better team coming into that game
by far,
and played like an FCS team in that second quarter that just lost Tennessee the game. So it's just it never fails. Even if Tennessee is the better team going into the Swamp, something always happens.
We find a way.
Florida comes out with a win.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, heck, that 2013 game, what you guys may or may not remember as a Gator fan, I do, is you probably win that game if you don't break Jeff Driscoll's leg as he throws a pick six. And then bring in Tyler Murphy, who has a completely different skill set that your defense has not prepared for, and that changed that game. Just all sorts of random things that happened in this game. And, man, 2005. Unfortunately, I have to find the photo somewhere, but I actually have a photo of freshman in college, me, my college roommate, and my brother and some of his friends, one of which goes to every game, almost every game with me now. Hair is painted blue. We got orange and blue face paint on. It's totally crazy. And that was about, I would say, 60, 70 pounds ago for me. So most people would be like, that's not you. And it's like, yeah, well, time catches up to all of us 20 years later, right?
Fact. Well, going into this matchup, man, as a Florida fan, what's other than the fact that it's Tennessee, right? I understand that's what's going to get everybody. But what are you excited about in this matchup, given the fact that obviously the team's not performed? But I'm a circle back to what I said right before we went live, man. Florida's so weird this year because you take away the Kentucky game, 100%. For some reason, I think Kentucky just has a number on you guys right now, and I don't know why or how. But you take away that game. Florida has had a tough schedule, but they played everybody tough as well. They're just a play or two away every time. So, like, that's what has me really nervous about this game on the road is like, I feel like given the fact that you're out of bowl eligibility at this point, it doesn't matter. And I guess maybe why is that? Why is that to this Florida team that is now head coachless, running on an interim, have no shot at a bowl, but yet somehow still fight every? I mean, that's so unlike today's age, I guess. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Some of my thoughts on that, and I was actually saying it last week as I sat in Oxford watching us again get to the fourth quarter on the road against a top 10 team, which we've done 4 times this year to what you're talking about. I mean, I think I might be counting our LSU game, who is no longer top 10 in there. Well,
LSU, Miami, Texas A&M, and Ole Miss, and then you had the Georgia game that was in Jacksonville.
Yep. And, I mean, also Texas, who was,
that one,
at the top then, and we beat them. But, I mean, LSU, outside of, a few things, was close, but Miami in the last 5 minutes is a 6-point ball game. Starting the fourth quarter, I believe it was a 7-point ball game at A&M. Georgia, we led until about 5 minutes left, maybe less than that. And of course, Ole Miss, we led until the first play of the fourth quarter. So it really is a team that really have played a lot of great teams close. And then of course, Mississippi State is a questionable decision by Jeff Lebby to throw the ball away from beating us at home. But with that said, what would I attribute some of that to? Well, this is kind of what helped, I believe, a lot of Billy Napier's recruiting classes, and there's a lot of legacies on this team. And I say they helped the recruiting classes because Miles Graham, who's got an interesting connection to this game, I'll say in a sec. Mm-hmm. But Miles Graham was a top 5 linebacker, I think, in his class. He's a big name. Also, true freshman Ben Hanks Jr. Or the third. He's another guy. His dad played at Florida under Steve Spurrier. You've got Vernell Brown the third on offense. So I think this is not only a team that loves being Gators, but there are plenty of guys on this team that are legacies that are on this team, telling these guys these games still matter, these rivalry games still matter, and that's why you've not seen the quit that you see sometimes with some of these teams outside of whatever happened in Kentucky. And I can tell you by halftime it felt a lot colder than it was sitting there in that end zone.
It's always our coldest game of the year. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Didn't feel cold until the game went south. That's all I'll say about that. But I think having the legacies on this team, and especially 2 of the guys being stars, granted Vernell Brown III has missed a few weeks due to injury. I don't know. He was listed as questionable for this game. Yeah. But, guys that aren't just on the team. And there are also some walk-ons that we have that are also legacies right now. But those 3 are guys who have played decent amount of times this year, and some like Miles Graham that are essentially, captains and starters on this team. Vernell Brown III, who is arguably the best receiver outside of Dallas Wilson, who's only played 4 games on this team. So you've got that leadership, and then again, you bring that atmosphere here to where it's home. I think, as we talked about, Florida at Miami, 6 points. At A&M, 7 points. Georgia, Ole Miss, away from home. Very close games. I think now at the Swamp, when you have that difference maker of the crowd in the Swamp, I think that gives Florida the chance to overcome, what they've struggled against. And not just because it's Tennessee, battered Vol syndrome, and we always beat Tennessee at home.
You can say it with a little bit more confidence or in your chest. It's okay, buddy. You can pimp that. No. I understand.
Oh, I want to. I mean, heck, 8-year-old me is still sitting in 1995 enjoying a downpour in a 62-30 win. Which, fun story, I don't know if I've ever said on this podcast before. I think I've said it to Michael. I remember walking out of the stadium after that big win, and the Pride of Southland, where they used to have the band buses for the opposing team, is right outside of our basketball stadium, which I'd have to walk by to get to my car. And just trying to be a nice kid walking out, I saw one of the band members, and I said, "Oh, well, you guys sounded good." In retrospect, it sounds like I was just trolling crap out of this guy after, they just watched a dude's tongue get severed, which crud, I can't Joey Kent, that's his name.
Yep.
But I was just trying to be nice. But again, looking back, it's like, oh, I totally trolled that poor band member. I feel bad. So if they're watching your show, there you go. I apologize. They're like, yeah,
he's been thinking about that moment for the last 30 years.
He's
so
like,
just,
or I just unlocked a core memory of like, oh, screw that kid. Now I know what he's doing. Now I'm gonna track him down.
No, right on. Well, I want to talk about the quarterback matchup, man. DJ Lagway, we presume, is going to be the starter. I mean, I think he played really well last week. I know there was a scare. Obviously, both of these quarterbacks are very turnover prone. But DJ is a player that I do feel like his ceiling is just ultra high. We've seen his low of lows, but we've seen him play very, very well. And I guess what's your take on DJ as a Florida fan? Have you been, I guess, mindset wise with him? Obviously, not hit the expectations that we all presumed preseason, but where's your head at as a fan right now going into this game?
For me, I'm probably higher than many people I know because I know there are some Gator fans that are in the camp of
they're over, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're like it's done. He can go, and I'm thinking this is a guy who missed all spring and most of fall camp, missed summer, had various injuries. This is a guy in a Billy Napier offense that I have been very open for years I didn't care about. And this is a guy whose quarterback coach was essentially an analyst. Like if you go down the list of assistant coaches especially before they expanded the field for the year from the NCAA, it really was an analyst as a quarterback coach. This is not a guy who's had, a top tier quarterback coach situation at Florida or been in offense like Josh Heupel's offense as very QB friendly.
Right.
So I'm not fully sold out on him. Plus, this year, he didn't have Dallas Wilson until the Tennessee game and then lost him in the Georgia game. Currently, he's missing Dallas Wilson, Trey Wilson, when healthy, can be dangerous. Had 9 catches for over 100 yards against Georgia. You're missing him, and he's been in and out this season. Vernell Brown III, who I talked about earlier, who's arguably the best receiver on this team as a true freshman. He's missed plenty of time, especially the last 3 games. Heck, the fact he put on the show he did last week for most of that Ole Miss game, when you're considering he's missing 3 of his top 5, I would say his top 3 receivers, I think it shows the talent. Now, if you put him in a better offensive system and get him some real coaching, I think we see that sky's the limit mentality that we've seen. We saw it last year and the things we've seen flashes of this year. And I will say this, looked it up before I recorded my podcast to preview this week, but I saw Tennessee's like 115th against the pass or something in the nation. I think, and I know you're going to talk about Boo Carter later, but I think this defensive backfield may be just what DJ Lagway needs to get his confidence back, provided he doesn't blow it early.
It's unfortunate that you say that. It's unfortunate that you say that, but it's 100% right, because I was going to bring up the fact that, DJ a lot of times this year has not looked good, but Tennessee has had the ability this year to make every single quarterback that we play against, except for Blake Shapen and Mississippi State, look like a world.
That was because our D-line was just out. Like, they had a game, though. That wasn't necessarily secondary.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say. I actually really like our corners. Ty Redmond is a true freshman that is balling, and he's only getting better week by week. Colton Hood came over from Colorado, and he has been holding down the other side of that. But where we really lack is at the safety and nickel positions. Mm-hmm. So if you want to have a heyday on our defense, that's where you need to attack us. So many mismatches in the passing game when y'all spread it out, 4 or 5 wide. So that's where I'll be focusing my attention on in that matchup.
But here's the biggest key for me that I think is going to help DJ Lagway more than anything. Florida has an absolute dog at running back in Jaden Ball, and Tennessee over the past several years has been very good against the run game. They have forced teams to pass on them, and some teams have made them pay whenever they pass the ball. This year, that run defense has not been there. I mean, Tennessee numerous times has given up 125, 150 plus yards on the ground per game to go along with the 200, 250 plus yards that other teams getting through the air.
Yeah.
So if Jaden Ball has a day on the ground, that's just going to open up everything else for DJ Lagway, and Tennessee could be in trouble once again, just like they have been in previous years.
With that being said, Tennessee's best defensive game, against the run was Oklahoma. And then in the second half, old Mateer figured out he could run himself. And then we gave up 80 yards, 100 yards, whatever. I think in total rushing, I think we gave up close to 150. But we held the running game, running backs wise, finally under 100 yards. But then, like I said, John Mateer realized that he could escape the pocket, which is something that I don't know if DJ will do a lot, but I know he's definitely capable of is extending plays.
Yep. We have seen a lot more DJ Lagway design runs in the last few games since does he want them? Yes, I do want Lane.
You're out of your mind if you say no, right? And I'm talking like anybody that's looking for a head coach, you want Lane, right?
Yeah.
If anything, it's just for the storylines. I don't know.
I just want to say this. I have said for going on 2 years now, Lane Kiffin is going to Florida.
He's doing it to troll us, bro. He's only doing it to troll us. Like, on God.
Yeah. I will say this, just stepping in on the Lane situation. Many Gator fans not feeling Tennessee fans are the smartest fan base in the SEC. However, let me finish that thought before you react negatively. You guys, without doing anything, have stepped up in the level of smart fans in the SEC in the rankings through doing nothing in the past week. I won't say which fan base it was, but I had a fan base arguing with me the other day on my personal Twitter that if a certain coach that we may have just mentioned were to not be allowed to coach, let's say, a playoff game, then there's no way that he could poach any of his former players from the school he's currently at. And although Rocky Top says there ain't no telephone bills, at least you guys know how they work. Apparently this fan base doesn't know that you can call, text, FaceTime, or any of that. It's hilarious. But that's all I'll say is certain schools in the state with the lowest education ranking in America kind of reinforced the data this week. And that's all I'll say.
There's only one other team he could possibly hate more in Tennessee, right? So we all know which fan base he's talking about, right?
Listen, it has nothing to do with my great buddy Landon at the My Dogs Are Barking podcast.
No, I'm joking, man. That's awesome. But back to the matchup here this week. Obviously, Florida is riding 11-game home winning streak against Tennessee. Tennessee does look to spoil that. But Daniel, I'm gonna ask your keys to the game here. What are some things you're looking for in this matchup to help secure the Gators a victory?
On offense, usually my number one thing is run the ball, for Jaden Ball.
Run the ball.
But on this is actually my third key for offense because so many teams the last few weeks have been selling out to stop the run. And I think if Tennessee sells out to stop the run, we could be having a hard time. But if we can take it, so number one for me on that offense is try and get that passing game going just a little bit so you guys cannot key off on Jaden Ball. And then, of course, getting Jaden Ball going, as Michael talked about. On defense, I mean, you just got to play disciplined. Hold on.
Sorry, no.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to...
Sean came in here and said, man, he'll say the same thing about Lagway as he said about Lenore Sellers. Giving them an offensive line and some weapons to catch the ball, which they both have weapons. But they have the potential to be the best quarterbacks in the conference. Obviously, not done that statistics-wise this year, but I think that's only to blame their offensive line. I mean, I do feel like offensive line has holes. That's where I'm hoping Tennessee. I am hoping Tennessee sells out on the run and forces DJ to win the game. I do. I would rather that than the opposite because Jaden Ball, I've seen his work and his talent, and he does tend to take over a game, kind of like Kyron Lacey did against you guys last week. He has that type of potential, and I don't want to see that. as a Tennessee fan.
I would say if we had a even average offense as far as like scheme,
right?
I think Jaden Ball would be considered the best back in the conference. Like the dude doesn't go down on the first tackler hardly ever, if at all. Tons of yards after the run, but when you, like you said, when you've got an offensive line or you don't have much of a threat from a passing game for whatever reason, whether it's you've got your top 3 receivers out, or hey, if we run 4 hitches every third down and run it 8 yards on the 3rd and 9. Not saying that's part of the plan, but happens a lot.
Do we need to be taking notes? Do we need...
Yeah. Well,
it's Coach Heupel. I got the game plan right here.
Hey, Tim
Oh,
Banks.
man.
Hey.
It has gotten a little bit better with Billy Gonzalez taking over, and I will say that Billy Gonzalez himself, of course, receivers coach for Urban Meyer, receivers coach for Dan Mullen, came back for Billy Napier. This is a guy who's been at Florida, wants to win for Florida, and definitely understands this rivalry a little bit more than a coach who calls Kirby smart and congratulates him on beating us in a rivalry game and wears Georgia colors in the Florida-Georgia matchup. But I won't name him.
Is he not? He's not over there right now, is he?
He might have been at Georgia a few weeks ago. Maybe he's there now, preparing them for next year's matchup. But
fair enough.
As you can tell, I do not remember things or take shots at all. I like to have fun here.
Absolutely. I don't blame you one bit. Michael, you got anything to add in this matchup, big dog?
No, I've already pretty much said my key for Florida to win the ball game, and that is Jaden Ball has got to get going. And if he can get going, then I think that's just going to open up the passing game. And DJ Lagway is good enough to go out there and beat you if you cannot stop the running game. Now, as far as Florida on defense, you just have to make sure that you put pressure on Joey Aguilar. Because anytime that we have seen a team that has put pressure on him,
he makes mistakes, man.
He's made mistakes. He's put the ball in places that he shouldn't. And to flip it over to the Tennessee side, the keys to victory, you've got to get the running game going. You cannot pass the ball 40 times in a game or more and go out there and beat Florida on the road. You've got to establish some sort of running game, which Tennessee has not done in a conference game since you played against Alabama back in it's been a month ago now.
Right.
Defensively, that's where you've got to stop the running game. You've got to stop Jaden Ball, and you've got to make DJ Lagway go out there and beat you himself.
I think my key to the game for the Vols is one that we've seen be the, I think, biggest problem in the Joe Milton year. But also we've seen it be a problem this entire season. That's tackling. There needs to be 0 yards after catch. I understand that's possible, but as little yards after catch as possible. And just like you said in the running game, we can't be diving at this guy and arm tackling or whatnot. He's going to break those tackles. I'm talking about Jaden Ball, of course. So defensively, Tennessee's got to wrap up, got to tackle, be formed with it, gain tackle, whatever you got to do to get the ball on the ground and force some turnovers, man. That's huge. Tennessee's defense has been great at forcing turnovers, but at the end of the day, they're also so bad at defense when they can't force the turnover. So I would say the key to Florida, get the first down. If you're on offense and you can get that first down, you have all the potential in the world to go on a 13, 14 play drive and literally go right down our throat and score, because I'm not even going to say it's a Florida thing. It's literally like our defense thing. If we cannot get a 3 and out or get a turnover, it's going to be a long drive.
Or if you get to 3rd down and long, just know it's a guarantee you're getting a first down.
That's a fact. Defense. I feel so much better in a 3rd and 5 than I do in a 3rd and 16. It is so bad.
100%.
You sound like Gator fans in the Todd Grantham era.
I'm telling you, man, it has been crazy. Rhonda, yes, the injury report has come out. Tennessee had a few names added to it. One in particular is Miles Kitzelman. He will be out for the game.
I've got the report from last night pulled up. I have not seen tonight's.
What a spot of potential. If Gator fans got to look out for somebody, look out for number 0 in the offense, Ethan Davis. He's got some massive potential. He's been banged up all year, but he's finally healthy. And especially with Miles Kutzman being out and he's having to step up now, look for him to have a big day.
Yeah, and also another one at tight end that's probably going to be subbing in and out with Ethan Davis, a guy that we hadn't seen much of this year, Deshaun Brain, a true freshman that has got a lot of hype coming into this. Expect to see him as well. But one name that Vols fans are excited to see that is not on the injury report this time, Travis Smith Jr.,
there you go.
highly touted freshman wide receiver, is making the trip to Gainesville. Don't know if he'll get to play or not, but he is not on the injury report.
Well, I'll say this: with Miles Kitzelman being out, there is a very good possibility there's going to be some formations where we have 4 wide receivers in play. So, very big chance that he could get some playing time.
And Daniel, while we got you on here, I do have a question here. Bryce Thornton, was he not the one that was committed to Tennessee for quite some time and then flipped to Florida? I believe it was last season, kind of last minute. Is that who that was, or am I thinking of somebody else, Skylar?
I think that's somebody else, but I don't know who it would be. I remember the name, or I remember that sequence happening.
I know it was a defensive back.
I think, and I'm going to look on it. I think that was Onis Cannonbanny. Name sounds right. Freshman, but Bryce Thornton is a third-year junior at Florida.
It's not Cannonberry sounds a little bit more familiar, but I can't remember for the life of me. But I do remember that happening.
I remember who it was. It was Lagonza Hayward.
Yes.
That's who it was.
He's played quite a bit this year. In fact, he got a sack last week for the Gators. Florida's defensive secondary has gone in and out with tons of injuries. In fact, what's funny is you look at the you could put it funny in
half your team's on the injury report.
Yeah. Most of those guys have been on there for most of the season. So like Aaron Gates went out, I believe, against Mississippi State, but that's given guys like Hayward plenty of chances to come in. Of course, I talked about Ben Hanks earlier, the younger Ben Hanks earlier getting a chance to come in. Another young guy who's been doing well, Jaden Woods, at one of the end positions. In fact, I said one of the keys for the game on my podcast is Jaden Woods might have, and this is another fun game for Tennessee fans for your BVS. 1999 Florida Tennessee true freshman, or maybe redshirt freshman, Alex Brown gets 4 sacks on T. Martin and an interception. Woods last week picks off Chambliss, sets it up for Florida to take the lead, and Florida holds on to the lead for a while in that game. And I do apologize if you see me moving around. I do have a wild kitten that keeps attacking me. And so to keep her from going after my feet, I've been holding her. She's appeared on work meetings as well recently for that reason.
Yeah, so I do have one more quick question. You know, you mentioned that most of these guys have been on the injury report for most of the season for Florida. Y'all don't happen to have any guys on there that should have been on the injury report for the last month of the season, but has still been told that they're going to play and then has suddenly started seeing less playing time, have you? Because, I don't know which team in the SEC has had that, but apparently they're no longer with their current team anymore.
They weren't really hurt, were they?
I'm
sorry. This is for Daniel. I'm sorry. You don't have anybody acting like they're hurt, do you? Maybe entered a transfer portal that's not even open, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, from what I know, we have not. Now I don't know. We've got a true freshman linebacker on there, and I'm not going to be able to think of his name. If you've got it up, you can probably see it just as well as I can. He's the only name that I am not fully familiar with.
Is it
Ty Jackson? Yeah. Now I can say, again, I guess this is an insider baseball on this one. We have a locker in the Gators game day locker room with my family's plaque on it. Ty Jackson is the player that has that locker this year, so I really hope he's not just sitting out. He's the only one that I am sure I've not seen get injured in a game You would think with Billy Napier being fired halfway through the season, we'd have lots of opt-outs. It has not appeared like that at all. Even like Dallas Wilson, you don't play against Georgia for a quarter and a half, go limping off the field, and then have surgery because you're sitting out. Why play that Georgia game?
Yeah, I was just bringing that up because we've got a former member of Tennessee that apparently should have been on the injury report the last month in Boone Carter. But we'll talk about that here in a few minutes. But no, Daniel, appreciate you coming on with us tonight. Before you head off here, will you tell the folks where they can find your podcast at?
Yes, you can find me on X at Gator Podcast, and then on YouTube at Gator Truth. You can also search for Gator Truth wherever you get your podcasts, and you should be able to find it. Definitely always good hanging out with you guys. These are great guys. If you're Tennessee fans, maybe checking them out for the first time, got to give a shout to both of them. I've had Michael on before. Skylar gave us a preview before the season, and I was like, let's do like a 15, 20-minute preview. It went an hour because he's such a good guy, just loves to have fun. Yeah. And then finally, I've got to give a prediction for this game before I get out of here, right?
No, you don't. No, you don't. We know where this is going. All right.
It's not that bad. I think you guys score more times than Florida does. With that said, I think Florida wins the game. 31-30. Sure, you get 6 scores. 3 of them are field goals. We get 5 scores. 4 of them are touchdowns. And it would just be great to give us that little bit of momentum heading into FSU next week. But anyways, thank you guys. If you got anything else for me, I'm here. But definitely always a good time.
Yeah, appreciate you coming on, man. Good luck to y'all in the swamp, but hopefully not too much because we want to finally get a win. So
finally, dude. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah. All right, so that was Daniel from the Gator Truth Podcast. Great
How we feeling?
Guy. I'm still kind of feeling the same way I was. I'm hesitantly confident, but that BVS is still there.
Here's what I'm looking for as well, and I didn't bring it up in the game because I honestly wasn't looking too hard at my stat book, but look out for sacks in this game. And the last 5 games alone for Tennessee, the 2 losses that we've had, Joey Aguilar has been sacked a combined 8 times. And the last 3 wins we've had, he's been sacked 1 time combined in those 3 wins. So look for sacks. If it's in the first quarter and the defensive line for Florida is getting to Joey Aguilar, I get a little nervous, man. If they get 1 to 2 sacks in the first quarter alone, that might be a telltale sign. And honestly, with this game being at night on the road, not feeling great about it, I'll be honest. But overall, I do feel like Tennessee's chance to break in the streak is one of the highest it's been in a while. So we got to take advantage of that.
Yeah, 100%. So let's go ahead and let's move on to segment 2. We're going to give a brief talk on New Mexico State, very brief. Going to give a little bit of our thoughts on Boone Carter, then move on to the pick segment. And segment 3 is going to be our Rakin with Jake. But before we do that, Skylar, will you give our segment 2 sponsor?
Yeah, absolutely, man. You already know who it is. It is P&L Business Services. We firsthand that getting your monthly reporting, invoicing, bill pay, taxes, and other essential business services is critical. That's why at P&L Business Services, we go beyond bookkeeping by providing you with everything you need in your back office so you can have your time back and the peace of mind to do what you love most, which is building your business. Beyond every successful business is a great bookkeeper. If this is something you feel like you need, you just go online right now to pnlbusinessservices.com and allow those folks to take care of everything on the back end so you can continue that great customer service and continue to put that customer first and have the peace of mind knowing that, we're getting pretty close to it. But when February and March rolls around and it's tax season, you've already got all the paperwork taken care of and you got the peace of mind knowing that everything is good. We appreciate your continued support, P&L Business Services. New Mexico State, 42-9. I'm severely butthurt on this game because I absolutely thought we would cover. Didn't think there was a chance in the world that we wouldn't. But when your quarterback throws a couple interceptions, things tend to not go your way. Now, in this situation, we are supremely more talented than New Mexico State, so a couple of turnovers didn't really change the outcome in this game, but it did change the outcome and how soon you could bring in your backups and stuff like that. So, Michael, what are your initial thoughts in this 42-9 victory for the Vols?
Yeah, I mean, my initial thoughts was that Tennessee did what they were supposed to do in this game. They went out there and they beat New Mexico State, didn't play around at all. It was never in doubt, but it wasn't the cleanest game in the world. You mentioned the 2 interceptions from Joey Aguilar, both of which could have been prevented. Definitely could have been prevented. You did force 2 turnovers of your own in the game. Ty Redmond with a fantastic one-handed interception. Then you had the pick six from William Wright as well. Good to see the running game get going, which is what we needed to see. Definitely gives him some confidence going into this Florida game. But the big thing that we really wanted to see backups get a lot more time. And that included seeing our redshirt freshmen and true freshman quarterbacks, George McIntyre and Jake Merklinger, both of which only threw 2 passes in the game. It was a lot of handing the ball off whenever they got into the game. You didn't really get to see much from them. And what you need going forward is for these guys to get experience, because one of these 2 guys or true freshman next season, Faison Brandon, is likely to be your quarterback. Now, we're not going to get into that conversation today because that's an off-season topic here. But the way that it should be is one of those 3 guys is going to be your starting quarterback next season, and they need experience in a bad way. So that's the one thing that I didn't like about this game. You did not get the experience that you needed for those guys, because that's all they need is game experience. But one thing that I love seeing, David Hobbs, man. David Hobbs had himself a day, just living in the backfield or right there at the line of scrimmage, getting 9 tackles, 5 of those solo. You also had a big day from Colton Hood and Edwin Spillman. Of course, I already mentioned Ty Redmond. He had 5 tackles to go along with his interception. Just a really good all-around day on the defensive side of the ball, which is what you needed to see. Only gave up 9 points. Unfortunately, you did still give up over 300 yards passing in the game, but on the flip side, you only gave up 27 yards rushing. So you did what you were supposed to do. Things could have definitely been better. Just really need to see a good outing against Florida this week so that we can finally break the streak.
That's fair. Truthfully, I was pretty sour in this game because I felt like Brazel got robbed of a touchdown that never even went to review. So after that, I was kind of upset with the whole game. I'll be honest with you. But I don't know. I'm kind of being petty in that, but I really thought that he scored a touchdown there. No, I mean, like you mentioned, I mean, you took care of business. It was kind of a boring game to watch, if I've got to be honest. And then a couple of head scratching moments, but overall, I will say this: I love the way our defensive line is batting balls. I feel like here lately they've been batting a lot more, getting them up in the air, and who knows what happens after that, right? But giving your defense a chance to make a play, and they're doing that. So when you can't get to the passer, what do? You get in the lane, and they've been doing a great job of that. Love to see that, and I hope that continues because DJ Lagway does kind of have like a lower release. And like last year, Arion Carter got one of the nicest drop back in zone interceptions that you will ever see out of a linebacker against DJ Lagway last year. So no, I even got some people. I think she's agreeing with me on the Brazel TD situation. But overall, man, good job. I'm not really putting too much stock into this game. We obviously Tennessee's been preparing for Florida for 2 weeks here. So let's go to work.
3 weeks when you include the bye week.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go to work. There's no excuses here.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's move on to the other topic here before we get to the pick segment, and that is obviously Boo Carter.
For real this time, bro.
Yeah, Boo Carter. So just to give you a little bit of background for those that have not heard the full kind of story on this. So Boo Carter, of course, has received limited playing time since the Kentucky game. I've very much encourage you to go over to volfanatics.com and check out the article that I wrote earlier this week about the whole Boo situation. It kind of tells from the beginning Boo's situation there. Obviously, this goes all the way back to at the end of last season whenever he kind of flirted with the transfer portal because he wanted to play offense. Then, of course, the summer stuff went on. But going back to the Kentucky game, you had to play where he was beat off the line of scrimmage. Cutter Boley throws a pass over his head, perfect pass in stride to his wide receiver, going down the sideline. Boo Carter makes an effort to go after the receiver. Looks like he could push him out of bounds and then just gives up on the play. Touchdown, Kentucky. From that point forward, Boo Carter saw very limited action in the second half of the Kentucky game. Didn't see a defensive snap against Oklahoma. And then was told he was not going to play, wasn't even going to dress against New Mexico State, but was told, we want you, or we need you at the game, at the homecoming game. Boo Carter no-showed for the New Mexico State game. Was not on the sideline with the team. I do think that other things happen inside the locker room as well, but I do not know this. It's just speculation. But I do think that other things happen inside the locker room as well. But then on Sunday, it was reported that Boo Carter had been dismissed from the team by Josh Heupel. Boo then came out with a statement on Instagram stating that he had been dealing with a hip flexor, that he was basically told that he was going to play, and that now he is entering the transfer portal, great time at Tennessee, just saying goodbye, all this stuff. What I loved, and it basically told what actually happened, was on Monday's press conference, Josh Heupel was point blank asked the question, was Boo Carter, or should Boo Carter have been on the injury report for the last month of the season? And I quote from Josh Heupel, "No, not according to our trainers." And that's how the press conference ended.
I mean, you live and die by the medical staff. That's why they're there. So you, as a coach, it's so easy to take the responsibility off your shoulders because you can literally just revert back to the medical staff. If the training and medical staff gives him the go-ahead, they know more than anybody. So at that point, yeah, I mean, it was an easy out for Josh Heupel. I think it's funny that you hear about these injuries after a player is dismissed from the team and you want to get there. Obviously they're trying to write the narrative for their next stop in line, but I'm not going to put too much stock into this. I think this is best for both parties in 100%. This situation. We get somebody that's literally can't keep himself out of the topics and headlines for the wrong reasons. And so, I do think his potential is insane. I think he's a baller. But at the end of the day, he couldn't just show up and play ball. It always had to be about himself, or his mom had to be all about her. And at the end of the day, see ya. Like, it is what it is, and we'll continue to move on and be a better team from it.
Yeah, but then the last thing that I have about this whole situation, if you think that we're just telling Boo Carter's side or we're just telling Josh Heupel's side, well, what about play-by-play announcer Mike Keith basically putting it all out there of this situation as well? He said, the fact of the matter is, you've got to have everybody rowing the boat the same way. You just do. And it doesn't matter how good somebody is. I mean, he got every chance. This is not a Tennessee problem.
It's not. And I'm glad that we have the coaching staff that'll actually do something about it, even if it's in the middle of the season. We've had coaching staffs in the past, Butch Jones, that would not do something like this and would allow it to literally eat or break apart the locker room from the inside out. So, exactly yeah, I mean, I'm glad that we made the moves. It is what it is. I'm not saying the Boo's a bad kid, but like, man, just play ball. Like, keep the main thing and go have some fun. But couldn't do that. Couldn't make it happen. And now he has entered the transfer portal that's not even open, which is interesting. But at the end of the day, he didn't just let himself down. He let his teammates down. And at the end, like, if I'm a player, that would tear me apart. Because I am absolutely a teammate first. And so the fact that he did this to his teammates, it sucks because he's an important player. He was a nickel that at his best is one of the best nickels we've had in a while. But he couldn't put the effort in, couldn't put the work in, and you got what you got. So, kudos.
Got all the talent in the world. Like you said, couldn't put the work in and just never was in the right position to make plays.
It's a fact.
So, yeah.
That's what happens when you sit out a fall camp.
Yeah. In my opinion, though, the only Division I Power 4 school that's going to take him would be Colorado at this point. I think he goes to
which they've already said no, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I think he goes to a group of 6. He's going to ball out there, and he's going to end up at a Power 5 school.
Might even get to play offense. Like I said, I think the moment that wasn't a reality for him, he's kind of been checked out on the season. And that, and to that, I say that I'm not going to say it's valid because you got to prove that you deserve that. But at the end of the day,
exactly that's my take on it. He didn't put the work in to be able to get to play on the offensive side of the ball. Right. So what I say in that situation, it's your own fault, buddy. So,
but I also look at the playmakers we got on offense, and we didn't need them on offense.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. But let's go ahead and let's move on to the pick segment.
Let's do it. I think you made up some ground on me last week. Not happy.
I did make up a little bit of ground on you last week, but we'll get to that here in just a minute.
Right. Is there a mercy rule? Because I'd really like to get to that. I'm tired of stressing about this stuff.
All right, first game of the weekend. We're just gonna skip right through that comment. It is Samford going up against Texas A&M. There is no line available for this game, so unfortunately, we're picking this outright.
Right on, A&M.
Agreed. A&M. No problems with that one. Next one is going to be a little bit more interesting, though. Missouri going up against Oklahoma. This game is in Norman, Oklahoma, a 7.5-point favorite. This is the SEC on ABC game.
Yeah, this game screams Oklahoma. I mean, they're over a touchdown favorite. However, even I don't want to doubt Oklahoma because I really didn't doubt them against us, but I was a homer, and so I went with Tennessee at home. And I do think being in Norman helps Oklahoma immensely. However, if Bo Pribula suits up for this game, I think Missouri's got a chance to win it. So I'm going to pick Missouri with what I've been hearing is the fact that Bo Pribula could be playing in this game and is probable to play in this game. And I do very much like Missouri's offense over Oklahoma's. Oklahoma's offense is really not that special. Their defense, however, is amazing. But I like Missouri in this game. I also think Oklahoma winning 2 back-to-back ranked wins on the road. I mean, it's hard to continue winning. I mean, look at Alabama. They won 4 in a row and still couldn't beat a team that they were very much a favorite over. So give me Missouri in this game in a very close one.
Yeah, I'm going to say that this is also going to be a very close game, but I'm going to go with Oklahoma in this contest.
Yep.
They, I think that just like Tennessee has done with other quarterbacks this year, they helped John Mateer find something. And he showed it against Alabama as well in the contest. And I think Bo Pribula being back from Missouri is definitely going to help. But I just feel like that Oklahoma's defense is going to stifle a lot of things that Missouri is going to try to get going. And I think it's the combined
don't forget about Hardy.
But once again, Oklahoma's defense, man, it's
That's a fact.
it's very good, especially against a run. So I do also agree with Rhonda. I think Oklahoma will drop one. I just don't think it's this game. I think that Oklahoma ends up getting Missouri in this game. They're going to get just enough from John Mateer running the ball as well as through the air to win the game. It's probably going to be about 150 passing yards, 125 rushing yards, or vice versa, something like that from John Mateer. But they're going to get just enough from him to win the game. Next game, it is Charlotte going up against Georgia. Georgia is a 43.5-point favorite on the SEC network. Obviously, since there's a line, we're picking against the spread on this.
Yeah, Georgia's going to win, and 43 is a lot. 43 is a lot. But I'll say they'll cover. But I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if Georgia does a Georgia, and you know what I'm talking about, where like it may be like 17-10 going into halftime. Because they tend to play down to their competition. And honestly, the first halves have not been great for the majority of the season. Now, they've kind of flipped the script here late. But that's why I think they'll cover. But I'm just saying I would not be surprised if we're flipping onto this game at halftime and we're like, whoa, hold up. But then Georgia obviously is going to win by a lot. I just don't know if they'll win by 44. But but I'm gonna pick it just because I don't want you to pick it.
And that's what I'm banking on. I'm banking on Georgia to win, but not cover in this contest. Yep. I'm going to take Charlotte to cover, but obviously Georgia's going to win this game and probably win it by 24 plus.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's a getting 44 points. That's a big number. And you mentioned that Georgia has kind of sleptwalked through a lot of these type of games where it's obvious they're going to win. They just don't care if they cover that number. So I'm going to take Charlotte to cover the 43.5.
Yeah, I don't like how confident you're picking these picks. I'm about to have the world's greatest choke. Call me South Carolina.
What about that game, by the way? That's one of them that I made up a game on you, and I
thought South Carolina was going to win, dude. Or at least cover.
We'll get to that whenever we pull the standings. But next game also. Sorry,
that ain't it.
Yeah, this is the wrong one. Let's see.
We're live, folks. It happens.
We are. I pulled up the wrong game. Anyway, it's Alabama going up against Eastern Illinois. Let's see. There's the game I was looking for. So, Alabama going up against Eastern Illinois. No line available for this game. It is an ESPN Plus game if you are an Alabama fan. Obviously, we're both picking Alabama in this contest.
No comment.
Next one. It is also an ESPN Plus game, as it
Gotta love the Saturday before Thanksgiving.
Mercer going up against Auburn. No line available for this game, but are we giving anything to Mercer with them being 9-1 in the season?
No, Auburn's winning this football game.
Yeah, 100%. Auburn's winning this game. Next game on the slate. This is finally a good game. It is going to be Kentucky
Vanderbilt
going up against Vanderbilt in Nashville. Vanderbilt a 9.5 point favorite in this contest. The game is on ESPN.
Kentucky's hitting their stride, man.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I'm picking Kentucky to win this game. Kentucky is definitely hitting their stride. They're on a 2-game winning streak, maybe even 3-game winning streak.
Crap out of Florida. I mean,
yes.
They barely got by Auburn, but they got by Auburn.
Auburn, beat the crap out of Florida, beat the crap out of Tennessee Tech last week, which is unfortunate because that was my upset pick, but that's neither here nor there. Vanderbilt is coming off a bye week, however.
Yep.
So that is to Vanderbilt's advantage. But I don't know. I think that I think a hot Kentucky can pull this game off. So I am going to take Kentucky to win this game.
Well, thank you. Finally made the pick a little bit easier for me. I'm going to take Vanderbilt, but I'm glad we're not doing the cover thing because I would take Kentucky to cover. I think 10 points is just too much to give Vanderbilt. I think this is much more in the line of a touchdown game. So give me Vanderbilt at home for whatever that's worth. Anchored down?
I'm not even going to say that.
I mean, I will. It's not RT, so it's fine. Anyways. Oh, this is a spicy one.
Going up against Texas. This game is the 3:30 game on ABC. Don't know why that's not in the bottom corner. Sometimes whenever I pull these graphics up, something glitches. Even though I put the time on there, it just glitches out and doesn't show on the screen. So I don't know what that's about. But
it happens.
Yeah, but
it's definitely not user error. Dude, you're the best.
No, 100%. This one actually is not user error because I can verify that I put the time on there. But yeah, Texas a 9.5 point favorite in this contest.
I'm picking Texas, but this will be the one time Arkansas gets it done. Arkansas is such a hard team to beat. Like hands down, they are like the greatest 2-8 team I've ever seen in my life, but they just can't get it done. And Texas is going to win, but I think they're going to be sweating bad in this game. Go for it. I know you want to. I've seen you. I picked them last week, and that's why I can't do it again this week. But, I mean, Arkansas is so good for them to lose so much. It's insane.
Here's the thing. I've still got to make up games.
Yes, you do.
But I also feel confident in some of them that I picked different against you earlier. Do I want to take a risk and pick this one?
I mean, if you're picking this one, you might as well go ahead and make that your upset pick of the week as well. With it being 9.5, I'd take it. Like that's a great.
If that's the case, I've got two of them I can pick from.
Exactly.
Kentucky outright too. So,
exactly.
You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to pick Arkansas to beat Texas in this contest. I don't have confidence in Arch Manning. He's looked better as of late until the
I would
Georgia
agree with
game. I just and Texas defense is good, but man, when you want to talk about good quarterback play, Taylor Green has played good all season long.
One of the best quarterbacks in the SEC, but he gets so overlooked.
The issue is they don't have a defense, and he doesn't have the playmakers around him. So, can Taylor Green get it done?
I'll say this: Taylor Green, albeit how great he's been, does have a fumbling issue.
He does,
but at the end of the day, if he protects the ball, they could beat anybody.
Yeah, 100%. So I will take Arkansas to win this game, but I do feel a little bit more confident in a Arkansas cover than I do in Arkansas win, because I do think that Arkansas will cover the spread regardless.
There you go.
All right, next game. It is Coastal Carolina going up against South Carolina. This is at 4:15 Eastern on the SEC Network. South Carolina, a 24-point favorite. Are we picking this one against the spread?
I mean, that's up to you, man. I'm down. Because, we're both picking South Carolina here. So.
Yeah, and I'm taking Coastal Carolina to cover in this contest.
Then I will take South Carolina to cover.
All right.
I could be mean and just pick everything you're picking on a lot of these, but I ain't going to do it. Scare money don't make money, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Or my money doesn't make money because I ain't going to talk about it. He's on the stream right now. He's just listening. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
But no, But let's talk. Since this is South Carolina, let's talk a little bit about that just absolute debacle.
The fact that Shane Beamer still has a job is debacle. Like, that's more mind-boggling than the fact that they lost that game. If we're being honest.
Who was that?
I don't know. Did you hear that? I don't think
I heard something.
I think he's reiterating what I'm hearing. And if for everybody listening that can't hear it, Jake Arnold in the backstage is saying firing. And I'm like, dude, like, how in the world did this not happen literally before the bus ride? He shouldn't even gotten a ride home. Like,
and then his comments, it was either post game or it was the Monday press conference where he said, this year we're going to be sitting watching the college football playoff selection. Next season we will be in it. It's like, what are we doing? And I know that that's not verbatim what he said, but that's pretty much what he said. And it's what are we doing?
Buddy waved to the crowd at halftime.
Yeah,
was really feeling himself,
and then went out and proceeded to score 3 points in the second half and gave up a 27-point lead.
Which, and to A&M's credit, I don't even felt like South Carolina was up by that much because they were just having a great first half. The A&M mistakes were insane in that first half. The drop balls, the missed tackles, the missed assignments.
3 interceptions.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was the most abysmal half I've ever seen out of a team that just was imploding on themselves. But then you let them come out in halftime, score real quick, and then you go for it on fourth down. Or you fake like you're going for it on fourth down. Then you waste a timeout just to call the worst play ever out of a timeout and just hand it right up the middle when everybody knew it. From a shotgun, might I add you. Makes no sense whatsoever. You deserve to win. I looked at my wife right then. As soon as that play happened, I said, honestly, as cool as it'd be to see an upset, they deserve to lose the game after that. And I'll be darned if they didn't absolutely lose the game. But now I will say this. I think A&M should have lost the game after they went for a trick play on the goal line to go up by 8, and then they fumbled and gave the ball back to South Carolina. I immediately pivoted, and I was like, wow, they deserve to lose again now because of that. Yeah. That was the game was crazy. Good for the storylines, whatever, but Shane Beamer should have been fired immediately. There's 100%. Absolutely no explanation on why he's still there.
Yeah, backdoored my way into a win on that one last week.
They did that, boy. It's because I was talking smack because I was like, no, dude, they're up by 27. You don't get no points, bro.
Yeah, because I picked South Carolina to cover, but A&M to win. So I said, if South Carolina wins, do I still get the point because they covered? And he's like, no, because you picked A&M to win. And they backdoored their way into it. So
maybe that's that is we talk about plays, the momentum changes and whatnot to help a team out. Maybe that game right there was God saying, Tarpley, you've kind of not been nice about this whole winning possibly 3 years in a row now. So we're gonna make some changes here, and I think that might be the pivot point in your season, and you could come back from that. We're gonna look back on this in another 3 weeks and wonder if that was where I lost it all. So
you got more confidence than I do in that. So
you've gained like 4 or 5 games on me the last 2 weeks. It's fine.
All right, Tennessee and Florida. This is the primetime slot on the on ABC. Tennessee is a 4-point favorite going into this game. I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to listen to the BVS. I'm going to go by what should happen in this game. Tennessee is the better team, 100% the better team.
Are they? Or they just the better record?
No, they're the better team. Tennessee should win this game, and they will win this game. They will cover that 4 points. I'm not calling for a blowout, but Tennessee is going to win this game.
No, they're not. It's on the road at night. Heupel has not lost a game on the road at night yet this year. Well, technically they have, Alabama, but that's not a game that they were supposed to win. This is that game you're supposed to win. And I'm just waiting for another game where we come out and look like absolute crap. Now, here's where I'm actually going to change my mind. See, I had every single one of you there. You actually had that game against Oklahoma.
100%.
So, even though that was at home, I remember in the first half thinking, like, what are we doing? Like, are we throwing the game? I remember asking myself after Joey's second interception in the first half, I said, are we actually throwing the game? So I think we got that out of our system. I don't think we're going to see that here. I think we're going to see a good game. Florida is playing inspired football despite their record. Tennessee will get their first win in the swamp in quite some time to have an intriguing matchup next week.
There you go. That's exactly what we want to hear. Is the confidence, just oozing over there? Maybe.
We've lost 11 in a row. I'm not confident at all, actually.
Western Kentucky going up against LSU. This is the nightcap game on the SEC Network. LSU a 21.5-point favorite.
Can they even score 21 points?
I was going to say, picking against the spread on this one, I'm 100% taking Western Kentucky to cover. But LSU's going to win. But I'm taking Western Kentucky.
I'm going to take LSU to cover because you didn't, but I'm going to have to hope that they get a defensive touchdown in this because I don't think their offense is scoring 23 points or 22 points. So, I mean, who knows? I will say this. Their quarterback's looking a little bit better, a little bit more athletic, can make some plays off script.
But
it's Van Buren, by the way, from Mississippi
State. I was gonna say that, we made bold predictions at the beginning of the season.
You nailed it, dude.
Most of ours have not come true, but this one right here did. My bold prediction was Brian Kelly would be fired by the end of the season, and Garrett Nussmeier would lose his job before the end of the season. And both of those hit. So I am gonna pat myself on the back for that one right there. That bold prediction. But yeah, Van Buren, he looks pretty good in that last game against Arkansas, one that they barely pulled out. But yeah, I still just, they've scored, let's see. Oh wow. They have scored over 30 one time this season. And that was against Southeastern Louisiana back in week 4. LSU's points that they have scored this season, 10 against Clemson. I'm sorry, 17 against Clemson because they won that game. 23 against Louisiana Tech. 20 against Florida. 56 against Southeastern Louisiana. 19 against Ole Miss. 20 against South Carolina. 24 against Vanderbilt. 25 against A&M. 9 against Alabama. And 23 against Arkansas. So unless you're going to beat Western Kentucky 24-0, I have a hard time believing that, LSU is going to be able to cover that 21.5 there. Because Western can score points.
That's a fact. I didn't say I was confident in it. It's fine.
All right, so upset pick of the week time, and I did make up some games there. Is this now just a 16 game deficit instead of a 19 game deficit.
It's getting close.
Yeah. Last week, both of us did miss Tennessee because we did both pick them to cover, and that did not happen.
I've lost more times in the last 2 weeks than I have like the entire season.
Yeah. Let's see.
It wasn't that long ago. I was like 87 and like 16 or 14 or something like that. I don't know. That's whatever.
Yeah. Both of us picked Alabama against Oklahoma, and that did not happen. And
that was crazy. Actually, I couldn't believe that. Once again, Alabama like literally was the better team. With the caveat of they got turnovers. You can't. It doesn't matter how much you outpace an offense. Literally, they doubled the numbers, I think, and can't win because you turn the ball over. It happens, man. Credit to Oklahoma. All right.
So upset pick of the week time. You have your game.
I think so. I am going to go with, and I was kind of thinking long and hard about it, but I am pleasantly surprised that they are a double-digit dog. But I'm going to go with the big game, the game that Game Day's at, and take USC to take down the Oregon Ducks as a 10-point dog.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that at 10 points as well.
I could not believe that's a 10-point spread. I'd seriously, USC's playing really good ball right now, and Oregon's not unbeatable. I mean, they lost to Indiana, and I don't know. I just think they could lose to USC. I think Lincoln Riley needs this a lot more than Dan Lanning needs it. So, and the Big Ten needs it, if we're being honest. So, give me USC.
So, unfortunately, two of the picks that I picked outright, I am no longer able to pick, as the Arkansas-Texas game has moved to 8.5.
I looked at that. And the Vanderbilt-Kentucky one's at 9.
Vanderbilt, it's moved to 9 even. So,
yeah, that's unfortunate.
But you know what? It probably works out better for me, because if I picked as my upset pick game, then it would not hit. That's just kind of the way that it goes whenever I pick games. So
I will let you know there was another game that's glaring, and I'm probably going to regret not taking it. But if you don't want the bad juju, I can wait till after you make your pick to tell you what it is. Or if you want to hear it now, I can tell you now.
Go ahead and tell me, and I'm just going to see.
Washington State over JMU.
I looked at that one.
Washington State, if we don't recall, but like 2-3 weeks ago, literally took Ole Miss to the wire. Only lost by 3 points. JMU is obviously the group of 6, I guess, leader to be in the playoff currently. They are 14-point favorites over Washington State, but if Washington State plays inspired ball like they did against Ole Miss, there's no way in the world they lose to JMU. So I was absolutely on that game, but it just depends on what kind of game or what kind of team you're going to get out of Washington State.
All right, so there's a game that I'm looking at, but I'm looking up an injury report real quick.
Oh, man, you're doing way too much homework on this. You really do want this win. I credit that to you, honestly. Like, that's...
I mean, I'm going to do the homework here, but I'm still probably not going to hit
What homework, dude? We're podcasters. We don't do homework. We hope that our bad takes generate the clicks, right? Like, that's what we do up in here.
Exactly.
We're clickbaiters.
You know what? I'm going to go for it, regardless of if he plays or not. I'm going to take... I cannot believe I'm doing this. Nico Iamaleava and UCLA to upset Washington.
I thought about that one too.
As a 10.5-point underdog.
I looked at that one too. But
after UCLA fired their head coach, they got
good.
on a little bit of a hot streak. Then Nico did end up getting a concussion, allegedly. I think he was just scared to play against Ohio State. But
fact.
That's neither here nor there.
PTSD from the last trip he made up there.
Yeah, getting a helmet cracked. But did not play last week against the Buckeyes. But if he's back for this week, I do feel a little bit more confident in this pick. But I am going to take UCLA over Washington at home.
Good pick. That's a solid one.
So your game was
JMU falling to Washington State.
So you changed to that one?
No, sorry. Shoot fire. I was looking at it. That's on me. Which one was it? Holy crap. I said that so confidently. Oh, yeah. USC over Oregon.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, so both of us taking the LA schools this week. Okay.
Yeah, dude. There's such good cities to live in. I highly encourage y'all to go check it out. I'm not being sarcastic, y'all. Everybody in honestly, if you think you could want to live in California, go. Don't come to Tennessee. It's fine.
Yeah. There's too many people moving to Tennessee from California.
Yeah, our roads are only 2 lanes, guys. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, 100%. But let's move on to the segment that most people look forward to. I mean, as you can see, our numbers are the highest that they've been all show because he's about to come on. But our segment 3 sponsor, it is going to be Kaizen Painting. Do you want a colorful life? Kaizen is a painting and drywall company that provides residential, commercial, exterior, and interior services. At Kaizen Painting, we understand the importance of a beautifully painted home and properly installed and repaired drywall. We're here to bring your vision to life. We care about providing you with a personalized, efficient, and quality service. If you live in Knoxville and surroundings, contact us for a free estimate at kaizenpainting.com. Color your life the Kaizen way. So let's bring on the man, the myth, the legend, the guy that we're going to be running from Jake this week. I'm sorry, raking with Jake this week. Hopefully making some money this time. It is Jake Arnold.
There it is. The man, the myth.
It's been a bad year.
It's good to have you back.
Well, thanks. I'm glad to be back.
You know, I love the fact that we're sucking this year because just like Paul Fonbaum, his ratings go berserk when Alabama loses, and I think our ratings go berserk when you lose. So I love it. It's great. It's good to have you back.
Yeah, can I just say, if we omit the first half of the USC Texas A&M game, I feel really good about my bet. I was very confident on that. I just didn't expect to see some of the worst football of Texas A&M's entire history of a program being played in the first half. But that's neither here nor there. We can go 5-0 and go back to go back to even, and then it's all a wash, and then we're back to 0-0. So all is forgiven once we go back.
That is fair. That is fair. Look, not a terrible week last week. We almost salvaged a 500 week, but
I can't go 500. It's impossible.
Exactly. But what I'm getting at is you've had like 2 back-to-back losing weeks.
Yeah. 1-4 and now 2-3. It's been beautiful.
So I'm feeling good about this week. So what's your first pick? What are we most confident in? Maybe say like a 2 or 3 unit pick here to start our segment.
Yeah, I think this one's probably my second most confident. I love Missouri at Oklahoma -7.5. I don't care if Bo Pribulo's playing or not. Oklahoma's stingy on the run. It's very, very obvious that that's Oklahoma's kind of bread and butter is they want to get upfield. They want to disrupt a quarterback. And if they're not disrupting a quarterback, they want to get for a tackle for loss. That's kind of where, if you look at how their yardage shows up, where it's at. I think that if you look at Missouri and their game plan, they have the highest time of possession in all of college football. Missouri just holds on to the ball. I think that this is a recipe for disaster. I think that what's going to happen is you're going to see Oklahoma get a lot of crucial 3 and outs, and they're going to pull kind of the Uno reverse where Oklahoma's going to have a lot of sustaining drives. I think this game shouldn't be 7.5. You're saying Pribula's playing. I don't think that means much. The guy was pretty hurt. And so I think that he'll have some hiccups, just like Mateer had when he came back. So it's hard to kind of get back in the flow of things. Another thing, this is a former Big 12 matchup. Let's just remember that. Again, I think it's important to remember that this team, Oklahoma, I think is like 75-25 against Missouri. They just win. So I love this one. I'm confident in this one. And then it gets to my second pick. Thoughts on the coaching carousel? Now I'm just squirreling. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and take the head coaching job at Florida. It's about time.
Why not?
Well, at this point, why not? And I'm going to get fired within the year, and they're going to give me a swift 12. Just give me $12 million. So only in college football can you get fired and make a ton of money.
Yeah, I hate to be there's going to be some new contract works in the very near future because that's going to stop happening very soon.
It has to. I'm almost curious if the James Franklin deal was a new contract being worked when you look at all of it. No way you get back into coaching that quick. They probably were financing that thing for 200 years.
Yeah.
To be fair, Penn State's loving the fact that he got hired because that cut
100%.
That cut his buyout by, I think, in half. So yeah,
I think it's more than half. I think it cut it down to like $9 million.
That's what I saw, which is crazy. I mean, you really kind of stopped the bleeding.
Great hire by Virginia Tech though, because if there is a program in the ACC that has the resources, has the boosters, the backing to have success in the ACC, it 100% is Virginia Tech. Yeah. They just didn't have a head coach since Old Man Beamer ended up retiring. So I think that was a fantastic hire by Virginia Tech.
Yeah, the only way it would have been a better hire is if they waited till end of the season when Shane Beamer's fired and they picked up, Shane Beamer to be the head coach of Virginia Tech. All satire here. That guy sucks. My second pick, I should have held till last. I'm just gonna give a moment of silence. This just feels right. I don't want to pick who wins this game, but my God, Tennessee at Florida. Tennessee at Florida. I had to chime in on this.
I immediately don't feel good about the pick because you just said too scared to pick a winner, and scared money doesn't make money, and you have not made money this year.
Jumping in fearlessly.
Okay.
This is a 6-7 type of game.
All right, I'm out of here.
If it's 6-7, then there is some serious problems for Tennessee. Here's the one thing that makes me nervous about this, and I think I put it in our text thread earlier. Tennessee has given up 30-plus points to every single SEC opponent this year. So if Florida scores 30, then Tennessee's got to score at least 30 to be able to beat them.
Ain't happening.
That puts us at 60 at that point.
Ain't happening. There's what you didn't mention is that I think there might be only one quarterback that has more interceptions than touchdowns this year.
I mean, Oklahoma scored 30, but because of a defensive scoop and score. So
they still score 30. Though.
That's kind of how I see this game going in a way. Like I don't see like you getting home, but I see like I do think Florida's pass rush is pretty good. I mean, they've got some athletes on the D line. I think that's what you're going to see is you're going to see a lot of second long, third and long. A lot of drives get stifled in that way, and I think you'll see that on both sides. Hopefully, but.
Well, if Florida gets in a third and long, then they're picking up a first down. So,
or an interception. There's no in between. I mean, that's what's so weird about this game. I think there's just so much that's going to go wrong. I don't think this will be a fun game to watch. I mean, I don't think we enjoy the game until it's over and we've won, unless we're blowing a team out by 30. This game feels awful like 17-21, maybe. I don't like a lot of points here. My only note on here is all caps. This game sucks. If you've ever been to Gainesville, it sucks. It's not a fun place to play. It's not like you're going to Kentucky. It's not like you're going to wherever you're going. It's just a gross, grimy place to play. And you're going to have so much humidity. It's so in the middle of November, nonetheless. So weird spot. Hate this game. Hate it so much. So, yeah, that's that second pick. I'm going to get that one out of the way and not talk about that ever again until next week, and then I'm going to get fired up if we win.
This one's going to bust. This one's going to bust thanks to like a, I don't know, 34, 35. It's going to be 34-35 or whatever. It's going to be that would be 67, but whatever. I'm just telling you, like, it's whatever. Exactly. The total is actually 67. In this
game. The final score is going to be 38-30 Tennessee, and that would put it right. Or sorry,
no, that's 68.
Yeah, it's 68.
We're Tennessee fans.
You know how if you don't love football, you pick the under. Like that's what we're doing this week. I am telling you, I do not want to see more than 20 points by one singular team.
It's like it's 30-28, by the way, is what we're looking for here, guys. It's 31-28, 30-28.
It's an ugly game.
31-28. That's where it's at. So
that's great. That would be great. Honestly, I would love for that to happen. It just is poetic. I mean, how many times has a half a point beat me this year?
Numerous times.
I would honestly say if a half a point bit didn't beat me, or a one play didn't beat me, I would be positive. So okay, we're gonna get off of this. I like this one. I'm getting off track. Florida State -5 at NC State. This is a good one. I like this one. We forget about Florida State. We always think they're overrated because they kind of fell off.
I mean, they did kind of fall off. They did fall off.
They did fall off. They did. But who is NC State? They've got what, some 6'11" quarterback who's a true freshman who's okay, but he
don't sleep on the Wolfpack, brother.
I'm not sleeping on the Wolfpack, except for the fact that they're 127th in defense in the FBS.
Sounds like you're sleeping on.
And yeah, I am. I'm absolutely snoozed. I am hibernation when it comes.
It's crazy. Florida State's only a 5-point favorite over this team, by the way.
Well, FSU hasn't won a road game all season.
Well, they just won their first ACC game, this year, and I don't know, and they started the ACC. I think they started 0-3 or 0-4. I can't remember. I don't know. Florida State's kind of.
They're a weird team.
They are very much
Florida State is a lot like. No, they're not a lot like Florida. I don't know what they're like. They're just not fun to watch unless you like a little bit of offense.
They're in a category all next week.
Yeah.
Again, -5's crazy. -5 is crazy on this. I know that NC State has a decent record. I think. But it's a matchup nightmare. Top 10 offense going against statistically a bottom 10 defense. There's not much more I need to look into on this. So, and again, since Florida State hasn't won a road game, I'm going to take it all day. I'm going to take them to break it. It has to happen eventually. It's kind of why I like the Vols to finally get it. That's the only thing, is we haven't won since 2003. You got to do it eventually, even if it takes 100 years. So that's where I'm at on this one. I really like this next pick, though. UConn -7 at FAU. I really like this pick.
Tell me you're a degenerate gambler without telling me you're a degenerate gambler.
It feels like a basketball bet. I don't even know.
I was looking for this. And I know.
And I asked you for this morning.
Well, this one is absolutely me digging in the bag, because I know one guy currently on the staff at UConn, and I know a guy who was formerly on the staff at FAU, now at Ole Miss. I know what these teams have. I know what's going on here. UConn's quarterback is 2,850-ish yards passing, 25 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. The guy's a dog. He is an NFL quarterback. Joe Fagnano, I think is his name. I've watched him play. I still don't know how you pronounce his last name. I feel like I said something I shouldn't have said it, but whatever. Nonetheless, let's keep going. FAU cannot run the ball. FAU is really bad. They average just right around 100 yards a game. And again, I'm going to go back to the bread and butter. If you can't run the ball, you're not going to have a good time. That happens 99% of the time. Talk to my Raiders. My Raiders can't run the ball. They got all the weapons, and they suck. Last year, too, UConn beat FAU 48-14. FAU was still holding on to the select few recruits that Ole Miss or Lane Kiffin had at FAU, and now I think you don't have a trace of Lane Kiffin at FAU anymore. UConn is a up and rising team. They are not a team that's known to win a lot of ball games. They're playing motivated football. I think this one's an easy, not -7. I think this could be my most confident bet. Slightly, I don't know. I want to take the Missouri-Oklahoma one as my other one, but those two I really like.
I never would have thought that this show would ever have a bet on UConn football, but here we are.
I love it. This is actually women's basketball.
There it is. There's no way they'd only be a 7-point favorite in women's basketball.
They're not even playing this week.
Add another 7 to the end of it, -77.
And then my last one is the one that Skylar just decided to fade. USC at Oregon. This is at Oregon. What are we doing?
This is 2 picks you decided to fade. I took Missouri too.
Well, yeah, but that's just a dumb bet. I mean, there's a difference between a dumb bet and then me fading you.
I mean, it's fine.
Do we want
to compare records? Because I don't mind. I mean,
whoa.
All right.
Look, you're spraying. I'm out here trying to snipe out here. Okay, I don't want to hear it.
For talking percentages, I will. I was gonna say, for talking percentage wise, I'm gonna keep spraying, brother. It's fine.
Okay, that's fine. Added bet. Let me just throw it in. Western Kentucky absolutely keeps it within the spread. Write it down. You're welcome. Western Kentucky, LSU. Just
what? We got to make up ground. Let's give them 6 bets this week.
I want that one in there.
I mean, I'm literally having to put like 7 cents a bet down on these, but
I've been putting rice grains that I'm going to put into my body at this point.
I've had to actually
betting rations.
My Dogecoin fund has now been going in. It's great, bro. It's fine.
I'm going to go back on this USC Oregon. Okay. The spread opened at minus 13.5 for Oregon, and it has equalized because there's too much money. You see what I'm saying? There's too much money going on this game. So I'm just saying, I like it. It's at home. The best win USC has is Michigan and Illinois. That's gross.
What's the best win for Oregon?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
What do you
This is my segment.
Okay,
this is my segment.
Right.
That's what I have.
That's what I got. So since we're making the Western Kentucky one official, that line is officially now at 22 points.
Perfect. Really would have liked 21.5, but whatever.
I thought 22 helps
better.
you.
That's better.
Oh, yeah, whatever. I'm so beside myself at this point, being 20 and 25. I don't even know what betting is anymore. Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it. And if they had, what's the guy's name? MacGyver? What is that quarterback's name? That guy was a stud.
McGruber?
No.
It was a joke.
What's the guy's name? Now I'm really mad. I want that guy out of the transfer portal. Don't give me no Sam Levitt. Give me Maverick MacGyver at a discount.
No, I want Lenore Sellers.
No.
Yes, I do. Actually, yes,
I don't want anybody out of the portal right now until I know that one of ours is going into the portal.
I know for a fact one of ours is going to the portal.
Yeah.
Jake Merglinger is gone, and I love him to death. Got nothing against him, but what you seen out of him this last week, I think is going to be the last you see out of him in a Tennessee uniform. So
just remember, everybody, that
I'm not an insider. Just
I was changing that over, but anyway,
that's fine.
No, but just remember that if you do have a gamer problem, make sure that you do call that hotline number on the screen there, 1-800-889-9789. Don't bet any money that you do not have because you can get into trouble very fast. So do not be afraid to call that number. But if you do decide that you want to gamble, make sure that you do use Action 247 Sportsbook, proud sponsor of the Vol Fanatics Show. Use that promo code Vol Fanatics on sign up. And I do want to go to a segment that has been making us some money over the last couple of weeks.
that got deep.
This WTF right here, we're on a 4-game winning streak. 11-4 on underdog teams this year.
Jake, you want a pen, brother? I got a notepad. You want a notepad too? Here, I got you notepad. Here, just take it. Just take it. It's Bluetooth. It'll work.
So we are going to get just a little bit greedy this week. We're going to take a couple of different games that I found that I feel pretty decent about. First one that I feel great about. This one I would say is a 3-unit play. It is South Alabama, a 1-point underdog at home against Southern Miss. Southern Miss is a good football team, especially because they got the head coach from Marshall and most of their team last year. Skylar over there. But South Alabama over the last several years has been a good program. Down a little bit this year, but still playing at home. I give the nod to South Alabama in this game. Jake, you don't like that one?
I hate it. I hate it so much.
I'm actually putting 6 units on it now. Now, just because Jake doesn't like it, I am putting, I think, maybe even a 7th unit. In fact, if we talk about it a little bit longer, I might put 10 units on it.
Go ahead, give me a 7th bet.
Dude, my 10 units still only equal 17 cents. But I will tell you, I am putting.
What kind of division is that? Goodness.
He's doing 0.05 cents somewhere. So.
That's not even a. God, make it stop.
Anyway. Second pick that I have, it is another slight underdog, but it is FIU. Once again, home underdog against Jacksonville State. Neither one of these teams has been very good this year. Jake is offline now. Neither one of these teams has been very good this year, but I do always like taking the close home underdogs in games like this. And
who are these teams?
These are the gross picks that tend to win us money.
And we were worried about UConn being in our best bet segment, and we're pulling these out of our back pocket.
100%.
But he ain't gonna hurt these teams. It's crazy.
I know. No, this is actually disrespectful. This is so disrespectful. The guy who got me into coaching is currently the outside linebackers coach at Jacksonville State. And it is so disgusting that you are picking against that man. You're picking against Charles Kelly, great human being, by the way, and you're picking against Bert Buffoni. That man, I'm telling you, in 5 years, Bert Buffoni will be a household name. That guy spent at least 400 hours out of the week. There's not even that many hours in a week.
Stop grasping, dude.
No.
I
am. Oh, it's just this hurts.
No. Deion Sanders put that team on the map, okay?
Jacksonville, not Jackson.
Sorry.
My God!
I thought he said Jackson.
Ah!
We're really about to see
My
Jake
bad.
Rage.
That's on me. That is on me. I thought I was just saying.
And Jake is offline.
Jacksonville. Okay, fair enough. My fault. That's on me. That's on me.
Right.
Close enough, honestly. I mean, like, it's really not. It's not even close to the same.
You just basically said my dad doesn't love me.
This one for me is this is a 1 unit play. I like this one, but it's not just super confident. The last one is also a 1 unit play. I've got UTSA plus 2.5 at home against Eastern Carolina. I've got 3 home underdogs this week that I really like. UTSA kind of had an up and down year. East Carolina has looked pretty good at times, but over the last couple of weeks has kind of shown that they're vulnerable. And I love UTSA as a 2.5 point underdog at home this week. So once again, South Alabama plus 1 against Southern Miss, FIU plus 1 against Jacksonville State, and then UTSA plus 2.5 against Eastern Carolina.
I'm writing all my picks down. I've got 8 picks right now.
Is that right?
I got receipts for next week.
I can't.
I y'all to know this.
I can't.
I'm going 8-0.
I don't have the money to make 8 bets.
I don't care if you do or not.
It'd be like 1 cent a bet.
This is all receipts.
All receipts. I might have to parlay this week just to make any money. Like, and at that point I'd be losing money, so it's fine.
Jake, do we need to go back to this real quick? I mean that record right there,
38 and 35 is really nice. Wait, y'all aren't even picking spreads though, aren't? Well, okay, now yours is different. I'm respecting yours, but my God, you're due for a bad day, and I'm not gonna.
I am, and I'm getting greedy this week because I am on a 4-game win streak. I've only picked 1 game a week for the last 4 weeks, and I won all 4 of them. So I'm getting a little bit greedy. I'm liable to have a letdown week, but even if I do, we're still sitting at 11-7.
He could lose all of these and still be like 3 times better than you.
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
I so enjoy you bringing on this. We're really testing out if our viewers have a gambling problem. So if you do, please reach out to 1-800-889-9789. Again, our Rakin with Jake segment brought to you by Action 247, which is right here, a local bookie out of Nashville, Tennessee. We are so appreciative of them partnering with us and our podcast to put on this segment and give us our lines for these games and continue to take our money, and that's okay. But if you are new into it, please sign in if you want to get into it and use promo code VolFanatics for a little bit of a discount or promo. I'm not sure what they're doing with it, but check it out. Follow it. Break with Jake, because I'm feeling a change. I'm really not. I'm joking. I'm feeling a change. Feeling a change this week. The only reason why I said I'm probably not is because 2 of the bets do go against my picks, and that's okay. It's okay. That's why I'm raking with Jake. We got some making up to do.
We do.
This week.
Otherwise, we really will be running from Jake. So
Rakin with Jake to running from Jake.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Action 247. We appreciate it.
Yeah. But Jake, appreciate you coming on again this week, and looking forward to a 6-0, because we got 6 picks this week. This week. So
I'm fading your 2.
It's fine.
Okay, so we're going 6-2 this week. So
it's fine.
All right. Skylar, do you got anything else before we hop off here?
Man, I don't. It's Gator Hater Week. Live it up. Get some Gator tomorrow and Saturday. Let's have a good weekend. It's a night game, so hopefully we get to watch some teams beat up on some each other right before our game. It is kind of a snooze fest. There's a couple of good games going on, especially outside the conference, but overall, just have a great weekend, man, and let's really icing on the cake and cap off the day with a 7:30 win over the Florida Gators would be very nice.
Break the streak. Got to break the streak this weekend.
That would be. I think that's the way you salvage the year, right?
Yeah, 100%. That, and then knocking Vanderbilt out of the playoffs next week. But actually, on that right there, we do have an important note to let everybody know.
Thanksgiving.
Next week is Thanksgiving. Obviously, Thursday night is whenever we normally go live, but because of Thanksgiving, we put family first. We will not be going live on Thanksgiving. We'll be going live on Tuesday night, same time, 8 Eastern, but we will not be going live on Thursday. We'll be on Tuesday night for next week. So make sure that you tell everybody that normally watches Tuesday night, not Thursday night. So that will be next week's schedule. But appreciate everybody tuning in this week. Let's go out and let's beat the Gators this weekend. Go Big Orange, everybody.